So, first of all, in this method, it's not important the information, because we know the information in hypnosis is polluted. Because many factors, many things, because the dimension, because the filter, because esoteric intelligence where this information is coming through, because the intention of other energies, so many reasons. And not the last one, just the mind of the person who received the information in hypnosis, that this is polluting this information because of mental structure and beliefs, etc., culture, etc. What is the pillar, the main pillar of the method? You, yourself. Only you can solve your own problems. No one.
Yeah, this is also what I like about the method is that, a lot of these healing methods, they call archangels, Jesuses, whatever, and how do you know these are the good guys? Sometimes we have basically interferences that continue throughout lifetimes and we might not be fully aware of them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we can take interference with us for many past lives. During this existence between life and life, we can stay interfered for many times. Yes, of course.
Welcome everyone. So today we have another interview, this time with Calogero Grifasi. And Calogero is a creator of a unique form of hypnosis called the Grifasi Method. This method is used now by many different practitioners in different countries. He started it in 2012. And it's a unique method that helps people with different things. Healing their bodies, their minds, fixing challenges in their lives, helping in relationships and things like that. So it can be applied to fix or heal or solve all sorts of different problems and issues. So it's a holistic modality that is not that known in the world. And I became very interested in this method. When you try different healing modalities and work with different practitioners and different psychics, hypnotherapists, and different types of healers and coaches over the years, you see what works, what doesn't work. And this method, in my view, is really unique. So we are talking about the method itself. What are the principles of this method? How it can be applied? One of the interesting things about the method is that you don't have to call any deities. You don't really give your power away to anything external, but you work with your own self, with your higher self, let's say. And through this process, you try to understand what is the root cause of your problem. The method is also unique in the way that typically it is performed by actually two practitioners in the same time. One being this operator, so let's say the hypnotizer, the other is a psychic. Now, many people are not susceptible to hypnosis, and this method solves this problem through the use of a second person who is typically a psychic, and this person tries to tap into the problem if the client, for example, has issues. So I'm not gonna say more here. You have to check out the interview, but if you are someone who is interested in these types of modalities, healing methods, you're probably gonna find this interview fascinating. Now, before we're gonna start, I just wanna say one thing, that I'm reactivating my Patreon now. So go to patreon.com/truththeory and subscribe to one of the options there, because we're gonna be adding more and more exclusive episodes, and we will be adding hidden content from these podcasts. So you're gonna get access to full version of podcast for free on all the platforms and apps and YouTube, etc. And then you're gonna get additional clips that are not published publicly on Patreon. So go to patreon.com, choose one of different options, support the podcast, support my work, and you will get some cool things and exclusive hidden episodes. So enough of me talking. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this is Calogero Grifasi. Okay, this is Mike Segula from TrueTheory.com, and this is True Theory Podcast, and my guest today is Calogero Grifasi. Calogero Grifasi is the founder of the Grifasi Method, which is an innovative form of regressive hypnosis. Calogero developed his method in 2012 and uses it together with his international team of operators who guide their clients to their own selves during sessions performed online. The Grifasi method has helped countless people to overcome their challenges, heal and remove energetic blockages. Currently, the method is used in many countries. To learn more about the method, you can visit his website, calogerogrifasiacademy.com and calogerogrifasi.com. So, welcome to the show.
Welcome, Mike. Thank you to having me right now here with you.
No, thank you. Hope the bio is correct.
Yes, it's Dubai. Yes, Dubai Marina.
I'm saying that your bio, the biography. I hope it's correct. Would you agree?
Yes. This is an artificial bay. Just in this position, we have the beach, and this is just the coolest area of Dubai. There is the artificial Palm Jumeirah, just right there, and that's it. This is Dubai Marina.
Why you decided to live there, by the way? Because you're from Italy, right, originally?
Yes, I'm Italian, but I lived 17 years in Spain. So I'm half Spanish, half Italian. Because it's a long story, but I try to reduce the story just in a few words. Because after COVID, Spain, Europe and the whole world changed in many, many ways. And of course, for us, is in the worst way. In Spain, after COVID and in other countries, of course, inflation, as you know, is completely out of control. And the income tax is completely crazy, etc. So I lived in Spain very, very good. I paid my taxes, of course, my income taxes, etc. I lived very, very good in Spain. I lived many years in very high quality life. I love the food. I love the weather. I love people. I love everything in Spain. In Italy too, of course. Europe. I like Europe. But after that, it's completely impossible to work because the income tax is on you as you are the worst beast on earth is looking for everything just to punish with fines, etc. because they need money. So for me was a situation too hard to stand, so I decided to get away from the country. And for example, just a stupid example, in my apartment, in my house, I never paid the I don't know in English, the wait a moment, then
you mean like the
sometimes I don't remember. Wait a moment. The heating. Okay, the heating. The heating of the house. I didn't pay any heating of the house because it's just in the same part of the mensuality I paid to the owner. But with the COVID, the inflation, and the war, Russia-Ukraine, so they told me that they told the Spanish people they have to control just the waste of energy. So now you have to pay your energy, etc. So price very high, inflation very high, out of control, income tax very high, crazy percentage, crazy every level, and everything you didn't pay or pay just a little, just completely out of control, as I said, etc. So I decided to go away. So I stay here just less 1 year. I completely get out from Spain from May, but I was traveled between Spain and Dubai just to create companies here, leave everything there, etc. So from May I'm here, but effectively from October. So here is just another thing. I think that my decision is because not only because I don't want to pay tax, etc. No. Because as I will tell you in this interview, we in my work I try to solve esoteric interference, because this esoteric interference absorb from us energy. Not only that, but mainly energy. Everything that is in this matrix is completely fractal. So it's como something just can repeat just the way, the system. So when you have a being, an esoteric being that is interfering esoterically with you, the country where you live, the state, interfere in you and absorb your energy by money, because money is energy. You need this energy just to live. You need your energy to create your life, to do something you want to do. But less energy, less money you have, less thing you can do it or you cannot do it. But the country, state, the system, the matrix have to absorb energy in every level. In this dimension, money, income tax are like an interference. So I understand that I live in a system and I have to coexist with them. I can pay something. I have to understand how to move, no? But until just a limit. So this limit was crossed over after the COVID and decided to get away because for me it's an esoteric and a physical interference. Okay. This is the reason. And with this introduction, now we can talk about esoteric interference.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's fair enough. I understand, of course. I get it. But let's talk about, apart from why you prefer to be there, let's talk about the method itself, because this is the main topic and this is something I'm interested in. So, I told you briefly, I had some sessions, but the session which I've had was with a girl called Ewelina Piotrowska. I'm not sure if you remember her. She learned your method in the past, but now later on she kind of developed her own method or something. She built up on top of your method, whatever. So she has different system.
Wait a moment, because in Poland there are many Ewelina, and Ewelina is just one member of my team.
But this is not this one, not this one.
Okay.
I know.
Okay. Ewelina Czakowska. Ewelina, the surname you told me just the same sound. So just
this is
just
a
understand
different Ewelina.
She's not her.
Yeah, not sure. Maybe she learned like 2 years ago, something 3 years ago. Piotrowska, and then she kind of, her method was called gold session, whatever, but she said that she initially studied your method. So I was kind of comparing them a little bit, and I think she changed some of the things, but generally is based on your method anyway. So I found it interesting, very interesting, because these methods in general, because first of all, many things that affect what's happening in our lives are influenced by invisible forces, energies, entities, contracts, things like that. This is something I know quite well because I was operating with this stuff for many years. So most of regular healing methods or any kind of conventional medicine or anything like that doesn't even know anything about it. And most people might have some kind of trouble or anger, whatever, and they can't fix it with conventional systems because the underlying issue might be something completely different. They might have an implant or some device, etheric device, or some kind of entity, whatever. So science doesn't know anything about it. And because I'm sensitive and I can feel these things, I know when I had something, and I know when it was removed, and after the method I had implant removed and things like that. And what was interesting was that I felt it on my back, and I know exactly when it was attached because it was a part of a contract which I got myself into with some kind of manifestation ritual, basically. But after it got removed, my aura, like the back of my back, was, for the next 2 months, I was having these like electric shocks on my back, which was very unusual, and I feel what was happening was that it was healing, basically. So if something got removed from the energetic body, you're probably gonna have a couple of weeks before it's gonna heal. So it's like an operation, basically, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about the method itself, what it can be used for, and how it started. Why you decided to start it. I know you also learned some stuff from some guy from South America as well, right? Before. So maybe you can tell us the history and what is being used for, and how it operates at the moment.
Okay, first of all, I want to be uh, clear something that, okay, we have an academy, the team Grifasi, has an academy, and we teach how to do hypnosis with this method to other people. Okay, but this is doesn't mean that people are respecting the method after that, because I don't know what they do. Many people is personalizing the method, or they change completely something, so we don't know. In our side, we say that all the people that did the training course with us are doing this work, but we are not responsible about if they change something because we don't know. But people, members of my team, of course, I have a very strong relation with them. I am in contact with them every day or almost every day, so I know these people. They are using the method perfectly, so I can respond about me and my team, of course. The method. Um, I want to explain that just to solve esoteric problems, we use hypnosis. Hypnosis, just in a few words, what is hypnosis? Just a very natural status of mind. When he just in a few words, in a simple words, is just to stay into a sleep and completely to stay awake. So in this middle, you have the rational part and the subliminal part just active and communicating in between them. Of course, rational part, rational mind, and subliminal mind or in consciousness are constantly in communication, but this intensity of information can change. So into hypnosis is very good. There is a very good information. You can get information from outside of the physical world, so you can get information that normally you don't have access. So you can analyze situation with information that you don't have normally. For example, when we dream, we are into an esoteric activity, a spiritual activity. And as we know, the dreams are very surreal. They are completely different of the reality. We can do something very strange, weird in the dreams, etc. But when we are awake and we analyze the dreams, when we are awake with our rational mind, for us the dreams are very weird and surreal, as I said just a second before, because we are analyzing something that is not physical with our rational mind. This is designed just to analyze something with the rules of this physical world. So we cannot understand what is happening. For us, it's strange. But when we are sleeping and dreaming, for in this moment, for now, is completely normal and natural to do in this dimension. Very strange. So when we are in hypnosis, we are into another dimension between the physical one and the etherical one. And for us, it's completely normal. Everything we say that for a normal people is completely crazy. What we see in hypnosis, normally we can see disincarnated people, dead people without physical body. So your dead parents, for example, or friends or something like that, or other beings that don't exist like here on Earth. So extraterrestrial beings, for example, because in the dimension that are not physical, we have lives, and lives exist, but in another dimension, other frequency, etc. So when we stay in this subliminal dimension with our mind, our subliminal eyes, just to see, or third eye, if we wanna choose this word, we can see these beings, for example. They are not physical, but etherical. And there are many species in this etherical world of extraterrestrial being, for example, and many of them have a characteristic, genetical characteristics, as the animals we have here on Earth. For example, we can see beings with form of reptiles or insects or dogs or eagles, for example. Many beings, not exactly like the animals we have on Earth, but similar. And humans form human shapes too. So in this case, when we talk about extraterrestrial being with these not physical, with morphological characteristics, we can call them, for example, reptiloid, insectoid, humanoid, etc., amphibioid, etc. This being can interfere with us between the etherical world and the physical one. We cannot understand because for example, we have a lack of energy, or we have a age, or we have problems in our lives, in the economy life, in our familiar life, personal life, etc. Because we are depressed, etc. Because for us, or for the science, there are physical causes. I don't know, something, a virus or something happened, a trauma, something. But there are more behind this physical cause. Esoteric cause we don't know because we don't see and we don't know. But with hypnosis, we can get this information, so we can act, we can do something to solve this problem in another plane. I reduce the word. This is the work we do, etc.
Because you normally have the session is done by two people typically, right? So you have a psychic person and then the person that runs the session, the hypnotizer, let's say. So, because not everyone can be hypnotized easily, right? Some people might have interferences. They might say they see something, but it might be their mind or their ego. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Why this is important? Why this is the way you work?
This way to work with more people, not only the person that is interested into this hypnosis, is just an invention of this method the Grifasi method, is just the support operator. This concept is very new. I introduced this concept just when I started to work in hypnosis in 2012. And many other operators just copied this concept because it works. It can reduce waste of time and energy with people that don't have hypnotic susceptibility. So genetically, human beings, they are not so sensitive, but just a few part of them, a small percentage, yes. So these people can go into hypnosis very deeply, and they can see many things, can feel many things, they can get many informations, but not at all. So the majority of people can get into a very light hypnosis or a medium light hypnosis. So the work is not so satisfactory for me. In other method, when people cannot go into hypnosis very deeply, they use other techniques. They talk, or do something, I don't know, something. After that, a session can be closed in some way. But I was not satisfied with this method, this way to do something. I wanted just everyone to work in the esoteric world in a full way. So if you don't see, if you don't visualize, if you don't feel, or if you feel just less things because you don't have this high hypnotic susceptibility, so another one can do it for you, because in the etheric world there is a telepathic communication. One moment. How, in which way I discovered this way? Just for a case, the case, the casuality doesn't exist, because everything is completely organized in other levels, but we don't know, we don't see. So, but I started to do hypnosis because I watched a video of another operator, a Colombian one, in Spanish. Right now, this is a very strong friend of mine. I love this person very much because I started to do this. This man let me discover hypnosis, so I'm very grateful to him. And even though we have methods completely different, because he's very religious, so he put many religious concepts into his hypnosis, and I'm not completely religious. For me, religion is a form of control of the human, on humans, on humanity. Anyway, I was watching some video of them, and in a testimony, in a video of testimony, just a girl was giving his testimony, was talking about that she has had this hypnosis just a few days ago, and not only her, but her mother too had results after the hypnosis, and her mother didn't know that she is going to do this hypnosis. So what did Aurelio Mejia do in this hypnosis? Just a rule change. So you let me talk with your mother telepathically. Let me with her. 1, 2, 3. And the girl, just into a very deep hypnotic state, can telepathically connect with another person and can communicate. So in this case, Aurelio could work with her mother through her daughter. So this session and this testimony opened my mind into an idea. So if one person could work into another person with results, I can do this for other people cannot do in hypnosis. So I can use a person, I can work on hypnosis with a person with a high susceptibility for another person that doesn't have. So I tried to do this, I experimented with this, and had results. So now, with this support operator, I can do session to every people in the world with high, medium, and low hypnotic susceptibility. This is the first thing, because this method is very esoteric, and we can go deeply, very deep inside to do the work. If not, we cannot do this work. If not, the work is not esoteric. It's another kind of work. So it's very important. We have to go very deep to extract information from another dimension, not the physical one. Not. And so I started to work. I started in Spanish, in Italian, sometimes in English. But after that, many people just add to me, asked me if they could put subtitles to my session in other languages. For example, Polish, Romanian, Russian, Portuguese, French, etc. So in many languages, I work because of these people collaborated with me. And of course, I work in this language too with translator. So sometimes you can see 4 people into a session. Me, the client, the customer, the support operator, and the translator. It's a revolution, complete a revolution into the hypnosis.
But
And online by internet.
The support operator is a psychic, basically, someone who has good abilities to tune into the situation, basically.
Yes.
Do you have experiences? Because my experience with psychics is over the years, I met many psychics, and even my ex-girlfriend, she was a very good psychic. So I had these experiences. Some of the psychics are good, some of them are not good. Sometimes people think that they channel someone, but they channel someone else. How do you distinguish if the psychic is a good psychic or not?
Of course. This is another pillar of this method, because I saw that many people were channeling everything, believing in everything. No, wait a moment. Actually, we cannot do about the information we have, we can receive. We don't know the quality of this information. We cannot know. We cannot, because it's complicated. We can filter the information, doing some analysis, etc. But it's complicated. It's and the percentage of the error is enough. So, first of all, in this method, it's not important the information, because we know the information in hypnosis is polluted. Because many factors, many things, because the dimension, because the filter, because esoteric intelligence where this information is coming through, because the intention of other energies, so many reasons. And not the last one, just the mind of the person who received the information in hypnosis, that this is polluting this information because of mental structure and beliefs, etc., culture, etc.
They might see something, but it's gonna be influenced by their bias. The same like in their dreams. Everyone has different dreams based on their subconscious, how their subconscious mind works. So where they receive the information, the symbols or whatever might be subjective to the person, right?
Yes,
but
of course.
not objective. Yeah.
So we have to understand that the session is the goal of the session is to solve a problem, not to discover another world. To do this, we can do other kind of exercise, etc. But the session is to solve your problems. So how we have to do the information in hypnosis when we know that this information is polluted? Because the information is not important just as information. The information is just the vehicle, the vector that we use to go to the esoteric cause of your problem. So when we are there, we can work on it. So the information can be polluted, manipulated. It doesn't matter. But the information is there, something. The information can be very polluted, but always is connected to the esoteric cause of your problem. The connection is there. So you have to follow this connection. That's it. We use the information only by that to go to the esoteric, go to root of the problem. So we can work on it. That's it. And all the information we use as a tool to solve the information is polluted too. But it doesn't matter. We just use this information just as tools to modify things and solve the problems. So it's completely a method completely. I like very much this method because you can solve everything. Everything.
Do you normally work with the higher self as well?
Yes, but we don't use this name because I create other terms because I didn't want to generate confusion, because sometimes many terms are abused because they are used in many times, many different times, epochs, context, different contexts. So in base of the place and time you take this name can have a meaning, a different meaning. So I can use, for example, I can use the word soul or spirit or love or God. Yes, but for me, soul is just one concept. And for other people, just in the other side of the world, in another epoch, is just another concept. So I don't want to get confusion in this. So I created other names just to create just one concept for this method. So when we talk about something superior, let's say this term, is your subliminal part. That part of you that is not imprisoned into your physical world and limited into this world, into this body. Sorry, this physical body. Because in this physical body we only have 5 senses. Just to see, to hear, etc., etc. But only 5. So just to detect the physical world. That's it. Other dimension, other world that exists, we don't know. We cannot have access to this dimension. So the subliminal part is the part that is free to get out from the physical dimension and can get information from there. The subliminal part. So everything you do, everything occurs, happens in your space, in you, it's just because your subliminal part. Of course, your physical one is doing things in the physical world. And that's it. What is the pillar, the main pillar of the method? You, yourself. Only you can solve your own problems. No one.
Yeah, this is also what I like about the method is that, a lot of these healing methods, they call archangels, Jesuses, whatever. And how do you know these are the good guys? I had many times when, I actually had a situation where I prayed to Jesus years ago and ended up having a contract and an implant. So some trickster probably turned out to be a Jesus, whatever. And and then many things in religions are just false, or they present themselves as light beings and are actually the opposite. So here you don't have to give your power to anyone that you don't even know is real or helpful, but you work with yourself really, and you know everything yourself anyway. Your higher self, or like you said, your subliminal aspect knows everything about you anyway, right?
It's very important. This is the pillar of the method. If you don't use this concept, it's not Grifasi method. So in your space, this is the concept. You don't have power. You are power. This is the first concept. You don't have, you are. In your space is you. Everything happens is because of you. It's because of your power, because you are your power, because of your will, because of your decision, everything. If someone or something is interfering you, it's because it's in your space, in you, inside you. So everyone or everything is inside in you, is under your will, under your power. But you don't know. People is sleeping. People don't know that they are their power. So it is like they don't have power because they don't know. It's how someone is rich but doesn't know. So the life of this poor man is a poor life, but he has many money in the bank. So if you don't know, you don't have power. But in the moment, in the day that this person is discovering his bank account, his power, his life changes. He does everything he wants to do, and he doesn't depend from anyone. Just everything changed in his life because of the power. So when we discover the power inside with the session, for example, we can solve every problem. We don't depend to any being. We don't depend to any belief. We depend only by ourselves. We can do everything we want to do. We do everything we want to do because we discovered we are power. That's it. So what happens when a being is in your space, is interfering you? If it's under your domain, because you don't know that you are power and they use your power against you. Because that you are your power, everything you think, everything you believe, you create. Because you are a creator. Being power, you are a creator in your space. So everything you create is because you believe in this, you are creating your space. So what happens? When a being is interfering you, is making you thinking and believing what they want you to believe. Because in this way, you create everything they want you to create for their advantage and against you. This is the mechanism of the interference. So when you understand this mechanism, when you understand all the information that took you into a very difficult situation in your life, etc., 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 you can solve it. How? With your power. Just want it.
Yeah, basically, if you ever have any kind of entity attached or using you, any kind of device, anything of these
Yes.
etheric
Mm-hmm.
parasitical systems,
Mm-hmm.
it had to be installed, or had to take you over, whatever, because of your own free will. Somehow you gave them power, right? So it's either through maybe a ritual, maybe a contract, maybe you're not careful, maybe you wanted something and this is how you are. I look at it the same way as, when you don't take care of your health, physical health, you start drinking alcohol, eating junk food or whatever, right? The parasites, bacteria, viruses will start taking you over. But if you take care of yourself, nothing's gonna infect you. And it's kind of like that with these things, like more with the mind, perhaps. So, if you start, I don't know, doing some kind of rituals, or maybe being selfish, greedy, whatever, then you might attract someone who wants to help you, but they will want something in return as a fee.
Of course, when I got to stay inside you, to interfere in you, they use technology, of course, for many reasons, for just input out of information. They want your energy, so they need to provoke you to create some kind of energies, emotions, etc. And after that, they can absorb this information, this energy from you. There are many kind of implants, devices, etherical devices that they can use to interfere with you, to connect with you.
Also, the problem is that sometimes we have these things from previous incarnations. So, I know about these types of things because I used to do psychedelic sessions, and in these sessions, I was learning quite a lot about like past lives. And for example, I could also feel the implants more. So I had something attached to root chakra, And I also at the same time I had always like addiction with pornography, things like that. So they kind of suck the sexual energy basically. And then I learned through the session that in my psychedelic sessions, I was shown a lifetime where I used to do black magic rituals, and I was explained that this is for the ritual I've done somewhere else.
Yes.
So it's kind of, sometimes we have basically interferences that continue throughout lifetimes, and we might not be fully aware of them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we can take interference with us for many, many past lives. During this existence between life and life, we can stay interfered for many, many times. Yes, of course. And yes, we think we live just a few years here on Earth. No, our lives is completely infinite. It's a process.
What about, can you share with us some examples of more interesting case studies or with people, maybe like possession or something? How maybe you can give
Mhm.
us some more interesting examples of how you
Yes.
solved the problem, what kind of problem it was.
Okay, of course. Majority of people can have problems, but just normal problems. These people can do normal life, etc., etc. But just a few percentage of people can have hard problems, and these problems we can take the name of possession or mind control, or just a control because people are mm, mm, living portals, etc., etc. So, as I said before, only a few people can have a very good genetic to have a high sensitivity. And so just a few percentage of people can have this kind of problem because the genetics, because of the sensitivity, susceptibility, etc., etc. And in this case, the interference can be very, very hard because the entity can take the totality of the person. For example, in case we talk about possession, the possession can be done about a human. Why not? A human, a disincarnated human, or a living human, because there are a few percentage of people in this world they can move energies. They know how to manage energies, and they can do some works, for example, black magic, but really done. Not the majority can is trying to do, but the real hard black magic is very powerful. So in this case, living human can interfere with other humans, other beings, etc. So possession for living humans or disincarnated humans, very, very powerful. Or possession by other beings, extraterrestrial being as reptiloids, reptilians, draconians, etc., or insectoids or humanoids or other species. Mind control is another concept of possession. It's different because of the way to control, the way to possess, the way to possess another being. The way to do it is different because in the mind control we have a technology behind. Normally, this technology is behind the etherical world and the physical one, and the how to do the intermediate between the subtle dimension, the physical one, the material one, can be militaries, army, yes,
You mean
department, special department of army that they can use hypnosis, trance. They can use substance, drugs, just to go into this hypnotic world, hypnotic environment, just to do works. It's just a weapon to do esoteric words in this way. It's just a weapon, as can be the internet or missiles or rockets or tanks, etc. So to do works in the esoteric plan is a weapon too. And mind control is just a weapon that they can use. For example, when they have to create terrorists that can suicide their lives just to do something, they can do just with mind control. It's very simple. You can use these people as robots. Is everything controlled by mind? So there is a connection with this mind. There is a programmation, subliminal programmation. They are looking for traumas inside, because in the trauma you can put some instruction and you can construct some program, and these programs can realize connection with technology they have, and with this technology they can give you instructions and orders. So in this way they can create human soldiers. They are robots, biologic robots. And so to create terrorists, to create just a very kind of men at work, for example, special force or secret service, etc. So possession, mind control, and life portals. Life portal is just a concept. It's just a possession, but without control, almost without control. Because when you...
But do you think that entity, let's say, because I had an entity on my back attaching, but at some point later on I got used to it. So I don't know, was it because I'm too strong and it cannot really affect me that much? Do you think that if someone is very weak, fragile, the entity might then take advantage of them more? This is the issue, or the entities don't have that much power, or can it be like such a powerful entity that can completely control the person? What do you think about how it works? Because people have this idea from movies about people being possessed and doing crazy things, but I think it's not as in the movies. It's more kind of like the entity is like a little parasite that's trying to piss you off sometimes, or things like that, or feed off your negative emotions or whatever. But you're still yourself. It is just like it's what do you think?
Okay, in your space, you are completely powerful, 100% power. Okay, so when someone is inside you, is 0% power. You are strong completely, and the other one is without strength. This is the concept. So what happens when an entity is interfering with you and is more powerful than you, because this entity is controlling you? What is happening? Because of manipulation, because of many techniques, I just talked about some of them, is controlling you. So you are seizing, you are giving your power to this being, but it's your power. They are moving, they are operating with your power against you and to their advantage, but it's your power. So when we think that another one is stronger than us, is because we are giving them power. In our space, we are 100% powerful. So we are creator. If we believe that the other one inside us is stronger than us, we are giving our power to them because we are creating this situation. Then the other one is powerful, is more powerful than us, than our. So the concept is the same. It's always the same.
But let's say if you would see a person who has possession, let's say, who is possessed,
of course.
could you recognize that this person is from their behavior?
Yes, when a person is possessed, the control of the possession is just a control, not a lot. There are two kinds of control, a possession. The continuously possession and discontinually possession. So when a person is continuously possessed and controlled, this person is like a crazy person. Maybe you can find these people in a psychiatric hospital because they are completely out of them. They are very weird. They are crazy. No, it just possessed continuously. The discontinuously of this possession when a person is completely normal, but completely normal. They can go to work during the day. They can have a family, children. They can do stay with friends. Completely normal. But sometimes the entity is taking control and they transform themselves. So they can transform. They transform themselves in another person. It's just the other entity, the personality of the entity.
For me, like the way I see it is that if you're strong, let's say, like you exercise, and let's say you have an entity through contract, whatever, it's very difficult for them to take advantage of you because you have to be in the vibration.
Yes.
So maybe being angry, maybe being under alcohol, maybe like being weak because of food and things like that, right? So people who are more fragile, weaker, they get possessed easier.
Yes.
And they can be more manipulated, right?
Yes.
This is the
Yes.
concept. That's why someone who is mentally in a hospital, let's say, and is possessed, actually, they're typically very weak physically.
Yes, of course. But I repeat, when a person is weak, it's because they are are giving their power to others. They think the others are stronger than them, so they are giving this power to them. This is the concept. But we are powerful, 100%, always.
Can you tell us like some examples of different things that the method can heal or challenges? Like, we're talking about that these entities or implants can work in a way where you can, for example, be angry or, what else? Like you might feel stress all the time or have these negative thoughts. And this is sometimes what happens. You might have addiction as well, right? You can be addicted to something, and there is an implant that because they feed off the emotions that you deliver when you are addicted. So can you tell us about the examples of different problems that people solve through the method?
There are many kind of problems. For example, one category of problems are the physical ones. I always say that we don't work in the physical cause of the problem or the sickness because we are not doctors. We are not medical doctors. We just work on the esoteric cause of the weakness, sickness, etc., etc. So they can tell me maybe because they had I don't know, a problem, an issue, a physical issue, or they have some everything that is physical. This is one. The other one is just because they think that they feel something and can have a esoteric cause. For example, I think that sometimes I can change my emotional status is completely upside, no, up, down, up, down, up, down without control. Or I'm depressed, or I'm addicted to the video games. I am addicted to the pornography. I have the problem. This is another categories, just not the physical, directly physical, but a personal problem. Another kind of problems is relationship with other people. So problems with the wife, the husband, the sons, the friends, colleagues, etc. And something more social or something that can affect their economic position. So, for example, I work every day very hard, but I don't have any never money to do something. And when I can do some money, maybe I have a problem. I can spend this money to this problem, and I always, always, I don't have money for me,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
So many kind of problems. Or, for example, a person very sensitive as you, like you, can tell me, I feel many, many things. For example, I felt just an entity in the night that touched me and could do something, I don't know, or I see my cat that is completely fixed in something in the empty. I feel there is something other, o sea,
No,
categories.
no. Yeah. Okay. But so let's say we're talking about physical or addictions or mental. These are caused by devices or entities, right?
Yes, but devices is just the tool that an entity can use to do it, of
But what
course.
about the money issue someone has? This could also be caused by device or entity?
No, the device is just a tool they use to interfere. The cause is just the interference. It's just the entity. And the entity that is there to interfere you is because of you. Because when you are not complete, you are not aware completely of your power, you are doing empty space in you. When you have a problem, when you don't understand something, when you don't have access to some information, when you are not balanced inside, you create spaces, empty space in you. Just a metaphoric example. So when you create these empty spaces, someone can fill the space just to balance yourself. You feel yourself balanced, but in an artificial way. This is the interference. So you live your life, but with many, many problems because it's
Yeah.
not you.
But let's
So
say okay.
So when
Some
you tell me, okay, but this kind of device just in the heart, for example, is doing this kind of problem, physical or something else, yes, but because behind of this device there is a mechanism, an entity, etc., etc. So the device is just something that is in the middle of the problem.
yeah. But let's say okay, someone has problems they never can make money and always lose money whatever. Is it because of their subconscious programming or is it because of entities or devices?
There are many reasons. I can do it just the main. For example, when you are, we are programmed just to don't have money because money is energy. Money is energy. If you can move this energy, you know how to move this energy, you can produce more energy. You can create things. With money, you can create many, many things. You can create companies. You can create something. You can give life to many, many, many things because it's energy. So energy is power. The 1% of the people in the world, the 1% is just metaphoric, is just the people that can have the majority of money of this energy in the world. You just have the money just to be a survivor. Just because you have to eat something and do something to survive. But you cannot do, actually, you cannot do something you wanted to do, of course. So you don't have to produce money. How they can reach this goal? Because first of all, they have to program you to not make money. For example, when you make money, a little money, you feel guilty. You feel guilty inside because you think you don't deserve this money for you. This is a programmation. Guilty because you don't have to do this. This is a sin. Don't do it. Hmm? So, for example, if you show money or you are selling something in a very expensive price, for example, other people can regret you. Ah, you make money. You can do this for lower prices. This kind of spiritual world, for example, can be done for free because it's spiritual. No, it's programmation because they are educated, other like them, just to don't non create
Yeah.
money, just not to produce, to manage energy in this way, economic energy. So religion, our culture, everything is giving you no. You have to be poor if you has to be
Okay,
perfect
so you think these types of issues are programs typically,
programmation. Mhm.
not related to entities.
Yes, yes, true. This is the first level, just one level of the programmation. The entity can manage all this culture, this
Oh,
programmation,
okay, the
just to
program.
manage
Okay,
their
in
creation
this
with
way.
us, just to create their creation. One of their creation, one of their goal is just to make us poor with economic problems because this can generate for us sadness, worries, etc. They need this low frequencies energy just to feed themselves.
Yeah, okay, I get it. And with addictions, it's almost always either devices or entities,
Two,
right?
of course, yes, two.
Because a lot of the way that people science thinks about addiction is maybe it's because of some traumatic experience in your childhood and things like that, and
Hmm.
this is a coping mechanism and things like that.
Yes,
But reality is that this is true to some extent, but then on top of that, they have technologies or entities that literally want to use you to deliver the emotions that
yes,
you create
exactly.
through addiction. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Is there anything else? How did you, by the way, like got interested in these types of subjects? Was it always since you were a child, the esoteric world?
Me, no, I'm not sensitive. I don't feel anything. I'm just harder than a stone. So I'm not sensitive. I just can understand some mechanisms because my rational mind, my logics. So um, I try just to not think as my how my rational mind wanted me to think. So I can believe something that is ridiculous or weird in this physical dimension. So in this way, I can recollect all the information from the hypnosis and I can build the situation. I can understand the mechanism, creation, co-creation, etc. But for me, it's just a rational process. Um, that's it.
Well, in terms of interest in spiritual or esoteric topics, was it always like that? Did you always have interest in these types of
No,
subjects?
no, no. No, no, no. I do this activity, this work, this activity because just a casualty. But think, I never thought about to do this kind of work. I thought to do another kind of things in my life, but not this. Now, of course, I do this work with passion because I feel that I'm completely inside this kind of work, etc. But never I thought about esoteric things when I was child or adolescent. Yes, I always felt just a curiosity about this occult world, but uh, just I stayed there, just a curiosity, but never step forward. Just now.
Okay. All right. Is there, before we're gonna finish, anything else you wanted to mention?
Mike, we have to do many things about this because we can stay here just to talk about days or weeks. So maybe sometimes we can choose just a specific theme and we can talk about this theme and concentrate our thoughts in these things because now we talked about many things, but just in a superficial way.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I would be interested. Yeah, I would like to learn the method myself to be a practitioner.
Hmm.
Yeah, I feel like I have a lot of experience with these things from a different angle when I got myself in trouble with these types of things. So I understand the mechanisms of these things, you know. Okay. All right. So let's see. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you to have me here.
Okay, thanks for checking another episode of Truthfully Podcast. Until next time, thank you.
With pleasure.
Okay, thanks.